A lot of people have asked me over the last week or so to view this, or last 3 days, sorry, to watch the Overwatch 2 playtest. I was unable to watch it, asterisk, because we had a meeting, and I say we as myself and some other content creators with Blizzard this past weekend, and we got to ask them some questions and talk about some stuff. And it was the first time I've ever participated in something like this, and to my knowledge, first time many people participated in something like this. So I have to say I have some hope, because it was the first time we got to talk to them and give some stuff. I may have gotten in a little trouble, and I may have kind of, because everyone in the beginning, like, nobody wanted to ask the first question, and then like the first question was like kind of like a little light one, and then like they brought up tanks in that question, and I was like, oh, tank players, right? Hello, I'm one of the last three maintaining main tanks on the entire ladder. Hello. And so basically my question went from like what they were probably thinking like 30 seconds. Mine was about 3.5 minutes, because I talked about basically the philosophy of the game being flawed right now, Zen being really strong, why Zen's strong, because Braid can protect them, why tanks are not fun to play right now, how to change the current philosophy on making them more fun, why Double Shield is strong, why Hog sucks to play with, why it sucks to play against, but the only person having fun is the Hog player, and if you make every tank like that, you're kind of going into a scary route of the game, because then nobody's having fun except for the player that's playing that hero, and if everybody's not having fun, then nobody's having fun. You get what I'm saying? So there's a lot of stuff, So they had to change the rules after my question, because they kind of didn't expect from, to kind of like just lay down the law, And there was a lot of agreement across the board with that statement, not from Blizz side, but from creator side. April links to the Prime, Steamboat links to the Prime as well. But I have to say,
how you doing?
They told us a lot of the stuff is up to change, and it's still early. But that was mostly like damage numbers and stuff obviously they have other stuff that they're wanting to rework. We couldn't ask questions about like how they were going to want to rework Orisa or Sigma or something like that, right? It was more of like more concise to like what's happening now, which is why I took advantage and went full blast of like, listen, I have talked to you guys very much about this in the past. For those who don't know, this isn't to pat my own ego, but I predicted exactly every meta that has happened in the last year and a half from balance patches, not based on nerfing that tank. So, for example, when Rhine was hard meta about 8 months ago, the reason Rhine was good was 1, they buffed his damage, 2, they buffed his health, 3, BAP was really good. So what they did was they nerfed his health and they nerfed BAP. And I said to them at the time, that's too much nerfing at once. Pick one. I said you can keep Ryan's health and nerf BAP because BAP was oppressive, and you would still force a more dynamic meta. Did not get lesson 2. We went right back into double shield hell. Now it's a little bit more up in the air. Double shield is still extremely strong, but it's not the most dominant comp in the game. So you won't actually see it as run that much unless it's like Havana, Junkertown, etc. On Control, you'll see some like ball comps. On 2CP, you'll see double shield. On Escort, you'll see more divey, except, you know what I mean? But there's a lot of stuff. Spartan things we sent through February, and Nick Newton. They all say they're tier 1s. I don't know if it was a prime or a tier 1. My alerts are broken. Thanks so much, dude. So basically, just being into the Prime for 3 months.
Need some new OW2 characters announced.
I kind of wanted to like drive that home, and to be honest with you, I wish I got to ask another question, but I think we're going to, I'm hoping that we're going to get to do it again. Because there has been some turnover, with some people there. So they might not know some of the stuff I've said in the past. I'm not saying like only listen to me, but I want to like be like, hey, I wrote these things way before they happened and told you about these things way before they happened and didn't even get listened to in a little bit. So if we're going to go into Overwatch 2 and there's not many tank players to talk to about why they enjoy the role and versus why other people that are like me enjoy the role or used to enjoy the role and no longer play it, you at least have someone that's a focal point to begin to ask those questions to. Regardless, though, it was definitely informative. They very much wanted us to stress that a lot of the numbers will change. A lot of numbers can change. So as we watch these today, whether it's, Brig Bash's 45 damage or something like that, or something similar, but no longer to stun, stuff like that, those numbers are willing to change. And it definitely needs to be some polishing. I tried not to watch anything, but I accidentally watched some Super a couple nights ago, and he was watching it, and so like I kind of got sucked in. But I wasn't able to stream this for 3 days. I could have technically, but like by the way we were asked, it was we could put it on YouTube right away, because of YouTube exclusivity with Overwatch League and stuff. But streaming it was like more of a gray area, and I just wanted to be respectful because this is my first time I've ever participated. So I was like, look, as much as I want to stream this right now, and they were like, well, we can't stop you, and I was like, okay, you're not wrong, I guess. You know what I mean? As long as I watch the YouTube video part, they couldn't really stop me. But at the same time, though, I don't want to sully that relationship as it's beginning to build. So I put it off for a few days. Yes, I'm late to the party. I thought it was the best idea, not only for myself, but going forward to build this relationship. If we're going to create a better game and we're going to have a voice to help, I don't want to step on toes. So that's where I'm at. Okay? I know that was really long, and I'm sure Retro will find a way to cut that down or just launch it all at once. Either way. Okay. I want to watch ideally all 3. I don't know how much time we'll have because patch comes out at 2. So we'll try to cruise through it. But I want to at least watch one of these and then watch Super's POV for one of them as well. Because I think it's going to be important to watch a tank player or a main tank player POV. So first one up, let's watch some Dorado. Now, if you know me and you know my stream, you know I absolutely fucking despise Dorado.
Another of our collection of Overwatch 2 playtests shot during the 2021 playoffs match. We've got Dorado in its daytime.
Yes, and for the blue team...
So this is actually really cool. Dorado in the daytime. The only problem I have is I hope it's not like Gibraltar and you're like, my eyes, because it's sunsetty. But I think this is a cool concept to have like day and night of maps.
And for the red team, it'll be some of the members from the Dallas Fuel. They were able to play an early version of Overwatch 2, as you see right now. Dorado.
Okay, no disrespect. I'm just gonna skip ahead a little bit.
Overwatch 1 gameplay.
Okay, so Super's gonna start on the Winston. Haman's gonna start on the Winston. So for those who don't know, Winston has a right click now. That does like a Tesla shot. I call it Sniper Monkey. I'm going to make sure in Overwatch 2 people call it Sniper Monkey.
Quite the nuisance here. So Winston play from both sides. At this time, we've already been teased Winston's sort of a slight tweak to him in terms of a longer range capacity, Matt.
Yes, he's got that alternate fire that shoots at a little bit longer range. And
so did you all just see the first thing that just happened out of the gate? And this is what I'm concerned with. We're not even 8 seconds into the round, technically, because the doors had to open, you walk out, and the Winston's already hacked. I'm gonna just make this fucking clear from the start. The Sombra changes are terrible. Hacking without coming out of Invis means she can't get punished. Even though it's only CC for a second, or like, you know what I mean? Like only 1 second, the walls for 8 seconds means that all of these players up here know exactly where this Winston is. And why is that a problem? Because Winston, in high-level play, especially in ranked and stuff like that, sometimes you can roll through here and then get the close jump, and the supports don't see it till it's too late. Over here, like just the walls lets everybody know where he is.
Sombra rework that is in. You see the constant.
Let's watch that again. Okay, let's see this. Let's say this one last time together. The Sombra changes are dog shit. This cannot make it to live. I promise you.
He's got that
you will kill the game.
Fire that shoots at a little bit longer
on
range,
release.
And obviously with the Sombra rework that is in. You see the constant hacks there from Glister on the high ground. Hanbin doesn't lose.
Did you see that? She was going for number 3.
Abilities just loses him for 1 second, but takes some extra damage.
Can we rewatch that one more time?
Sombra.
So he got hacked twice within the span of 10 seconds.
Glister on the high ground.
Jumps high ground alone.
Abilities, just loses him for 1 second, but
because there is no diva to follow up. What happens? Discord. Left click from Zen. Sleep dart from Ana. Literally. Remember Sato Go Boom from those who were there, the co-streams? Sato Go Boom taken to a whole nother fucking level.
Glister and co, but see there.
Zen's philosophy, okay? And I'm going to start the train for people to realize Zen is OP. Okay? And now, this is how we have to be on the same team, guys. We have to be on the same team. Just because a hero is fun to play doesn't mean it's okay to make them broken. Now, you can have broken and fun like heroes and abilities at times, but if it's oppressive to the other players where they can't play the game because you picked a hero, that's when it sucks. That's when it sucks. Like, you can have fun with it, okay? It can be a good and fun hero, but if it's oppressive to the other players, it's gonna suck for the game. Why Zen is bad is Zen, or sorry, bad for the game and it's too strong. Zen, OG Zen in Dive. The reason Zen was played was because you could put a Discord on a target, everybody focused them with Dive. You could put an orb on somebody so you didn't have to worry about going in to heal, and you could fire from a distance, just be a cannon, right? You were both the weakest on both ends, so you were a glass cannon. What happens in now's game, the game we have today, Brig exists. So Brig protects the Zen, and it's no longer a glass cannon, it's a fortress, because Brig can keep Zen alive, no problem. In this case, Zen is kept alive because Winston doesn't have a secondary follow-up like Diva or Ball or anything like that. That would fuck up both supports. Now even Ana can keep Zen really well protected with her Sleep Dart nade and her other, her ability to heal. What Zen's problem is, and this is when he was in GOATS, they buffed his Discord orb to 30% damage because Zen is a tank buster. They nerfed it to 25% in 2.2.2. However, though, that was his original. Zen originally was 25% when you could pick 6 tanks if you pleased. The reason why 25% is too high is because there's only 2 tanks in the game in the current build, and in Overwatch 2 will be 1 tank. You have 1 tank, you put 1 Discord orb on a tank, they're no longer able to play the game anymore. It needs, in Overwatch 2, it's probably going to be like 15%. Anything higher than 15%, you're fucked. I think, from my philosophy, any kind of damage increase or decrease higher than 15% is game breaking. It's game breaking. So, especially in this case, Zen needs to be severely looked at, and being able to see that, look, Discord orb is strong. You can even make it a percentage multiplier. You can put 30% on squishies and 15% on tanks, right? Technically, it would do somewhat similar to the amount of health pool because tanks will take more damage over time with Discord. Yes, squishies will blow up much faster with a Discord on them, but they're typically smaller, harder to hit, and have better abilities to survive. Tanks just have larger health pools to survive, so it's much different. Zen needs to be looked at. I think that's going to be a common theme we're going to see today, is this shit. So let's just get that out of the way now while we have everyone's attention.
It makes it pretty tough for the Winston to stick around there. Hanbin probably knew exactly what he was walking into. So
because that is classically how Overwatch has been played. Won't Top take this high ground? Yep, here it comes. So that time, actually, Zen was left alone, and that's why Zen isn't strong on his own. That's why in Dive, that was actually a perfect example of what we were just talking about. why Zen was super strong in dive wasn't because his survivability, it was because his ability to be a glass cannon. So right here, Ana's not able to help because they're doing something else, and Zen gets left alone, and they realize that, and Tracer and Winston dive together and kill him. Boom, blow him up. That's how Zen is supposed to exist. High damage, high value, low heals,
biotic field,
but low survivability.
Like
the current build of Overwatch, Overwatch 1 takes that away. In Overwatch 2, it's still taken away as long as
players on that red team
you don't get one of those situations where everyone's just
that
chasing one kill, you know?
They're able to go right in. That time make a play for Violet as he switches right off the Zen now. Goes over to Batiste.
Super backs up there. He looks like he got caught a little
also,
bit too far.
Brig is a big part of that.
Right over the top, landing on Glister immediately.
How much bubble? Didn't catch
Super
that.
backs up there. He looks like he got caught a little bit too far.
600. Okay.
Ahead, and Hanbin's going to go straight over the top, landing on Glister immediately. FD God has to use a defensive biotic grenade to keep himself alive, and Hanbin quickly gets out, but Sparkle is
still
on
takes
the
so
hunt
much damage.
in the back line. Payload still coming up from the choke here, and here's the Tracer. This could be nasty. Pulse bomb available.
God, that Tracer feels so smooth.
Yeah, he's developed into one of the better Tracers. You know.
Oh, that felt so smooth to watch.
But 3 kills for the Shock as they're going to make their way back onto the payload to try and play some defense. And
can I be honest about this soldier? The gun sounds cool, but it sounds like Lego Bastion. Tell me this doesn't sound like Lego Bastion.
Yes, I mean, he's developed into one of the better Tracers, you know, throughout the season this year. But 3 kills for the Shock as they're going to make their way back onto the payload to try and play some defense. And looks like they're going to
I'm not crazy about it.
You're going to see a hold now. So, you have Tayo.
I don't know. I'm not crazy about it. That doesn't sound like the soldier gun that they showed us originally. Like, remember the Overwatch 2 play test, or like the gun sounds test we saw at BlizzCon? That sounded much heavier. Like, that one sounds like instead of like bum 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 bum, you know?
Went on, you know, fell a little bit out, but I think in this new world of 5v5, right, where there's more space and more opportunity to make plays, that you can kind of use him as like a flanking type of you know, Trace with a little bit more.
So actually, one thing I want to point out really quickly, which I really much like so far about Overwatch 2, check out the ult charges that's going on right now. On Dallas's side, they're only 95 to their first nano at 2 minutes into the game. Now, if you guys know high-level play, supports build ult in like 30 to 45 seconds. You know? Depending on how a fight's going and depending on respawns and stuff like that, even less. And on the other side, they're actually 94 and 56. And that's with Violet swapping. So Violet's halfway there. Violet kind of farmed up quick to 50%. But nobody really has support ults yet because only having the one tank is much harder to heal and build that support charge. Which, by the way, I don't know if it's this build, but supports were 25% nerfed across the board. Now, from what I've heard, it doesn't look like that's going to make it to the live game because there's this weird 25% reduction while you're in fight for 4 seconds, like. But then it goes up by 25% when it's out of fight. Like, just change the fucking number. Like, if you don't like that the number is 60 HPS, like, per shot, then just take away 25%. Don't make it so it's like, oh, if you're in a fight, it does 25% less, and then after 4 seconds, it'll go up. No, that's stupid. Just nobody wants to do fucking math mid-game. Just fucking change the number. It's stupid.
And obviously the heavy pulse rifle.
But regardless, though, I like that the support ults are building much slower. Because support ults are what's taking this whole game right now.
Nanoblade here for Doha, going to drive straight on in. I think he lost sight of FD God for a moment there, but he's able to follow him up and find 2 quick ones. The
nice
Nano actually
play.
Went over towards Super here, but he's not able to do too much to stop the march of the Dallas field, and that's an immortality field removed. Sparkle deals with Violet quickly.
Genji looks pretty good.
The payload making its way towards that first.
I don't know why, but the right click just like it doesn't really make much noise.
So
it just like
that ding, that'll be the first point there scored, and they'll move the payload from checkpoint A now to opportunity to take checkpoint B.
Fire Mercy now for
Sniper Monkey?
The Shock, but Tayo is there's one hit scan in play, but FD God wasn't really able to do too much to help him there at all. Hanbin, notice he's firing off some of those longer range shots here to try and finish kills. Super there, he almost.
So there's no cooldown timer on Sniper Monkey anymore. You can just do it endlessly.
And he's gonna pop it straight away.
I like that. I like that a lot, actually.
You see everything used here on defense to try and contain Hanbin. His FD God just trying to fly around and stay alive, but that's gonna be 2 for
this is actually a point I made to the Blizzard team. when trying to talk about tank survivability and whatnot. I told them, if you don't believe me, reference Overwatch when it was early release. Winston Primal was thought of as an extremely powerful high HP ultimate. On current build Overwatch, basically you just focus the Winston, he'll blow up. It just, like, I don't think I've enjoyed a Primal in months. Like, I pop it and then I just, like, maybe I enjoy the CC a little bit longer than go back to spawn. You know what I mean? In the old game, an older Overwatch before a lot of power creep, you basically just said, fuck off. Like, fuck the Winston, just try to survive him. Like, leave him alone. Like, don't even bother shooting him. It's not even worth it. Now you just blow him up. You know? Now you just blow him up. So I would like to return to a place where Winston Ultimate is actually feels impactful and feels like it's, yes, you give a lot of not ult charge, a lot of HP and go aggressive. I don't think it's this year in 4 months. Okay. But we also, this is another, you know, is like, the answer isn't just like give everybody more health, you know, because like you play a dangerous game at that point.
Payload will continue to move, and I think that's something you brought up. That's
so this
really
is interesting, right? Though. You notice how soldiers on point. This actually used to be more of an off tank job, off tank or off support. I say off support, like not. Depends on who the main healer is. Now there's flex support and main support, but we're talking about main healer. Like if it's like, you know, Mercy or if it's Ana Mercy, then Ana stays cart because Mercy can go fly up and stuff. It depends who, but it's interesting you're gonna have soldier push it.
Is that
because the diva would push it sometimes
watch now when
just because you know Winston could take space and diva could come later,
you put down your bubble,
just because she had better survivability on cart, but now you have the soldier
that player off
that actually,
right?
you know,
overextend throughout your bubble.
Oh my god,
Sparkle.
I love the way Tracer plays right now. This looks so fun. Tracer looks like a good time.
But you can actually, you know, make those kills happen.
Tracer looks like a good fucking time. Let me tell you.
From inside, if you have that aim right, so adding another skill element to Winston's kit, you're able to finish those kills off.
World round things
there as well, when you find a kill, it sort of indicates to you to what degree.
Look at Super's HP. It's already gone. It hasn't even come out yet.
Dealt in order to find that kill. Sound barrier here for Jackson.
So that's another thing that if you guys don't know about, really quickly. All over health in this game has changed to this green. Anytime over health happens, so like I think Rally, I'm not sure about Rally, but Rally it looks like it does. We'll see later when we see break. Lucio beat Hammond shields when he pops his E, it's now this green. So there's no longer shields, armor, and stuff like it. All over health is now this one green category.
And that will decay, of course, over time, is the case with his ultimate in general. Dexter, of course, always the Lucio aficionado here. Trade of kills back and forth, but it's the immortality kill from Violet that kept the shot going. Now that's out of the picture, and Jack's going to return to the cart here to stop this stall.
But you see Lucio just
looks kind of fun,
right? Being able to use the speed for the team, get in, be offensive is 1 HP. He's barely gonna stay alive. They're gonna keep him up. He's just trying to play outside
armor
of the cart.
No longer different. No, it's over health.
Alive.
So your armor, like Ryan and stuff, is still the same.
Still with an opportunity to push this. That is a filthy pulse bomb.
Well,
anything that goes beyond your health pool.
Doha just happened to wander by and get taken down by the pulse bomb.
Rally is question mark. I'm not sure. I have to double check.
My God. Nice to see a bit of Tayo action here. Hanbin there being hastily topped up by Fielder as there's a nano boost on deck here for the Dallas Fuel as Hanbin looks to try and take control of this high ground.
One of my big concerns with Overwatch 2 is the game feeling a little empty without without 6 players. And a lot of the answer from people was, oh, they'll make the maps smaller. I think me and SVB, when we talked about it originally, was like, they'll probably close the maps in a little bit, you know, make them smaller and make it more brawly. Because that is something that they constantly refer to, is they want to make it more, I don't think they use the word brawly, but it's like kind of like brawling. I don't remember the word exactly they said. But we'll see on New York. New York looks like it's a much more open map, which is more poke. So I'm confused on how that's going to work. But also, we haven't seen a single map reworked yet, so I'm kind of like, okay, like I understand, you know, is that actually what we're gonna do, or is it not what we're gonna do?
I mean, that is the best way to kind of deal with an amp matrix.
But I will say, this doesn't feel as empty right now.
Doha now on the high ground, getting that first pick, and
it doesn't feel as empty, but it doesn't feel like a full Overwatch fight
that the red team's able to win.
Does that make sense?
There's not really anything that can be done to interact with him. The closest thing is Tayo.
It feels more like
try and pepper Doha from
beginning of the fight feels like how Overwatch would feel like 4 or 5 seconds into a fight.
Of course, found a time extension after finding that one.
Sniper monkey.
2 minutes and 15 seconds to
you see the sniper monkey trading? Sniper monkey.
And
oh, it's not endless range, by the way. It has a slightly longer range, but not that much. Sniper monkey. Battle of the sniper monkeys. Oh, the damn it, dude. Yo, let's look at that again. Want to see that again? That was beautiful. Look at this. Look at this right click from Super right here. Look at this. I can probably check what the damage number is. I don't know what it exactly is, but let's see this. So he charges up the right click, nails him, chunks him for like half his HP, also gets shot by something else, and just gets fucking blown up. It's 50 damage. So the 50 damage plus the jump up, even though he's getting healed by Ana, probably takes a shot at the same time. Winston having part of the burst damage from incoming fire, you know what I mean? So like, let's say like let's say it was Teo that hit like a headshot or like a body shot and a headshot that bursted a lot of his HP.